Welcome to Infoil Studio, where information is shared in style. We are feeling very sorry as we came late to release this video. Actually, our team was very busy on some other activities, so we haven't got much time to do a quality work. Hello new audience. Please like, share and comment on our videos. We really appreciate it. Subscribe for more videos. Hello. Hope you are doing good today. My name is Agatha. I am associate member of Infoil Studio. Today I will be the presenter of a very interesting and practical topic of Scrum. We will learn how the sprint works on day-to-day life. We have found many organizations are not knowing the system properly and they are following in a wrong way. Let's help each other and learn more. So let's start. It has long been a source of amusement and frustration to me how common it is for many in the industry to use terms like Scrum but in a pejorative sense, implying that teams should only be following the small set of practices that are part of Scrum. The reality is that for any Agile team to be able to repeatedly deliver working software over any significant length of time, Scrum by itself is not enough. Whether they realize it or not, the vast majority of teams that call themselves Scrum teams are operating as a Scrum XP hybrid, where they employ at least a subset of the technical practices that originated with XP. Extreme Programming, XP, is an Agile software development framework that aims to produce higher quality software, and higher quality of life for the development team. XP is the most specific of the Agile frameworks regarding appropriate engineering practices for software development. Dear all, hope you are liking this lecture till now. If you have any doubts, please comment. We will answer it. Now we will discuss on roles of Scrum. On this lecture we have Daniel with us, who is also like me an associate member of Infoil Studio. How are you, Daniel?
Hi Agatha. Hi viewers. I am doing good. Thanks for asking. Let's start. Scrum Roles. Scrum development efforts consist of one or more Scrum teams, each made up of 3 Scrum roles: Product Owner, Scrum Master, and the Development Team. Product Owner is the empowered central point of product leadership. Is the only authority responsible for what will be developed and in what order. He maintains and communicates to all other participants a clear vision of what the Scrum team is trying to achieve. As such, the product owner is responsible for the overall success of the solution being developed or maintained. Scrum Master helps everyone involved understand and embrace the Scrum values, principles, and practices. Acts as a coach, providing development process leadership as a facilitator. Scrum Master helps the team resolve issues and make improvements to its use of Scrum. Is responsible for protecting the team from outside interference. Takes a leadership role in removing impediments that inhibit team productivity. Has no authority to exert control over the team, so this role is not the same as the traditional role of project manager or development manager. The Scrum Master functions as a leader, not a manager.
Development Team. Traditional software development consists of various job types, such as architect, programmer, tester, database administrator, UI designer, etc. Scrum defines a development team as a diverse, cross-functional collection of people who are responsible for designing, building, and testing the desired product. The development team self-organizes to determine the best way to accomplish the goal set out by the product owner. Is typically 5 to 9 people in size. Its members must collectively have all skills needed to produce good quality, working software. Product Backlog. Using Scrum, we always do the most valuable work first. The product owner is responsible for determining and managing the sequence of this work and communicating it in the form of a prioritized, or ordered, list known as the product backlog. On new product development, the product backlog items initially are features required to meet the product owner's vision. For ongoing product development, the product backlog might also contain new features, changes to existing features, defects, needing repair, technical improvements, etc. The product owner collaborates with internal and external stakeholders to gather and define the product backlog items. He then ensures that product backlog items, Scrum activities and artifacts are placed in the correct sequence. Items can be added, deleted, and revised by the product owner as business conditions change. Overall, the activity of creating and refining product backlog items, estimating them, and prioritizing them is known as grooming. Size equates to cost, and product owners need to know an item's cost to properly determine its priority. In practice, many teams use a relative size measure such as story points or ideal days. Sprints, in Scrum, work is performed in iterations or cycles of up to a calendar month called sprints. The work completed in each sprint should create something of tangible value to the customer or user. Sprints are time-boxed, so they always have a fixed start and end date, and generally they should all be of the same duration.
Sprint planning. A product backlog may represent many weeks or months of work, which is much more than can be completed in a single, short sprint. To determine the most important subset of product backlog items to build in the next sprint, the product owner, development team, and Scrum Master perform sprint planning. During sprint planning, the product owner and development team agree on a sprint goal that defines what the upcoming sprint is supposed to achieve. Using this goal, the development team reviews the product backlog and determines the high priority items that the team can realistically accomplish in the upcoming sprint while working at a sustainable pace. To acquire confidence in what it can get done, many development teams break down each targeted feature into a set of tasks. The collection of these tasks, along with their associated product backlog items, forms a second backlog called the sprint backlog. The development team then provides an estimate, typically in hours, of the effort required to complete each task. Sprint execution. Once the Scrum team finishes sprint planning and agrees on the content of the next sprint, the development team, guided by the Scrum Master's coaching, performs all of the task-level work necessary to get the features done. Done means there is a high degree of confidence that all of the work necessary for producing good quality features has been completed. Team members define their own task-level work and then self-organize in any manner they feel is best for achieving the sprint goal. Daily Scrum. Each day of the sprint, ideally at the same time, the development team members hold a time-boxed, 15 minutes or less, daily Scrum. This inspect and adapt activity is sometimes referred to as the daily stand-up because of the common practice of everyone standing up during the meeting to help promote brevity. A common approach to performing the daily Scrum has the Scrum Master facilitating and each team member taking turns answering 3 questions for the benefit of the other team members. What did I accomplish since the last daily Scrum? What do I plan to work on by the next daily Scrum? What are the obstacles or impediments that are preventing me from making progress? By answering these questions, everyone understands the big picture of what is occurring. The daily Scrum is essential for helping the development team manage the fast, flexible flow of work within a sprint. The daily Scrum is not a problem-solving activity. Rather, many teams decide to talk about problems after the daily Scrum and do so with a small group of interested people.
Done. In Scrum, we refer to the sprint results as a potentially shippable product increment, meaning that whatever the Scrum team agreed to do is really done according to its agreed upon definition of done. Sprint review. At the end of the sprint there are 2 additional inspect and adapt activities. One is called the sprint review. The goal of this activity is to inspect and adapt the product that is being built. Critical to this activity is the conversation that takes place among its participants, which include the Scrum team, stakeholders, sponsors, customers, and interested members of other teams. The conversation is focused on reviewing the just completed features in the context of the overall development effort. A successful review results in bidirectional information flow. The people who aren't on the Scrum team get to sync up on the development effort and help guide its direction. At the same time, the Scrum team members gain a deeper appreciation for the business and marketing side of their product by getting frequent feedback on the convergence of the product toward delighted customers or users. The sprint review therefore represents a scheduled opportunity to inspect and adapt the product. Sprint retrospective. The second inspect and adapt activity at the end of the sprint is the sprint retrospective. Whereas the sprint review is a time to inspect and adapt the product, the sprint retrospective is an opportunity to inspect and adapt the process. During the sprint retrospective, the development team, Scrum Master, and product owner come together to discuss what is and is not working with Scrum and associated technical practices. At the end of a sprint retrospective, the Scrum team should have identified and committed to a practical number of process improvement actions that will be undertaken by the Scrum team in the next sprint.
Cool. This is Rohan, member of Operation Team in Foil Studio. We have completed our preliminary lecture on Scrum with Sprint stepwise approach. Please, wait for our new video. We will then explain in detail how steps are followed in Sprint and how we follow Sprint. We will also get to know in our upcoming videos about how we upscale our working style with every Sprint activities. To know and get updated, please subscribe and hit the bell icon. Maybe in our next video, you may see our director Debanjan again to give lecture. We will meet soon. Have a wonderful time. Keep revising.
Yeah.